The officers were unprofessional. As Toledo police officers arrest Stephen Boyd, a resident yells, "You ain't got to do all of that." The officers respond by saying, "Shut the f*** up!"
Continue with the antics of the hand gestures and things of that nature. All that does is just, like Albert Earl was saying, is adding more fuel to the fire.
Go in the house, you fat wench.
And that officer that let the dog on me, he ain't had to do that. He did not have to do that. That was not a threat. I was not gonna run. There was nowhere to run. There's 3 guns on me and a dog. Nowhere to run. And I was recording.
Good morning and welcome to the Bad Apple Report. It's bright and early right here at home on the range, 7:30 a.m. And today is Toledo Day. Not Dayton, not Canton, Toledo. TPD officers under investigation for releasing K9 on man during traffic stop. Unbelievable, folks. This video is amazing. A Toledo police K9 was released on a man during a traffic stop, and now several officers are under investigation. The incident happened Thursday, and the driver recorded it on his phone. The cell phone video shows officers standing behind Brandon Upchurch's truck with their guns drawn and a K9 unit. And folks, we're going to have a great report from Jaden Jefferson Reports, who is fantabulous. She talked to Brandon, and it's amazing. While officers ordered the driver to get out of the vehicle, the driver repeatedly asked why he was being stopped. Okay. "What is y'all pulling me over for?" Brandon Upchurch said. Upchurch said he picked up his cousin from work, and they were seconds from home when officers with the Toledo Police Department stopped them on Albion Street. "I just happened to look in my rear view and see lights that instantly pop up with guns and a dog. I'm asking them, what are you pulling me over for? They're not saying anything," Upchurch said. The 38-year-old man told the officers he just came from the store and continued to demand that the crews tell him what he was being stopped for. A K9 handler then walks toward the man with the police dog. The KPD handler releases the dog and Upchurch is handcuffed. The officer tells Upchurch, "Your car has a stolen license plate on it." Oh, likely story, coppers. The Toledo man said he didn't have a stolen plate. "No stolen plate. I own that truck." Like they lied so badly. I'm going to tell you all the whole story. They were looking for another truck, but it wasn't that truck. They had no reason to do any of all that at all. I thought they were going to shoot me. They had the guns pointed straight at my head. That's a terrorizing act that they have qualified immunity, and they get to do. They get to do that. They probably could have shot him and got away with it. They let his passenger, Frederick Wilson III, go and allow Wilson to drive the truck home. Ooh, man. They booked Upchurch in the Lucas County Jail and charged him with resisting arrest and obstruction. For what? The men said they were traumatized, and Upchurch said he has severe injuries to his arm. And in the interview, this guy hadn't been able to work. Anyways, they didn't even search a truck. I didn't attempt to run or anything. It wasn't an attempt. Why would I run? If there's 3 guns and a dog, I'm not going anywhere, Upchurch said. Upchurch faced a judge Friday and entered a not guilty plea to the charges against him. TPD Internal Affairs Division has 100 days to investigate the incident. Okay, now again, this Jaden Jefferson Reports, she's so good, and it's just a really good thing. I'm glad we got to see what Brandon Upchurch thinks about TPD, and we know now that Toledo PD is unholy Toledo. Didn't see that one coming.
Toledo's branch of the NAACP is calling for accountability tonight after members say a police K9 was used excessively during a traffic stop earlier this month. Tatiana Cash, she attended that news conference, spoke with the local NAACP president about why they felt it was necessary to hold this meeting. Tatiana?
Yes, Jeff, several NAACP Toledo chapter members and the Frederick Douglass Center's executive director stood united in their call for equity from the Toledo Police Department and change within the community.
We refuse to go back to the 1960s. We We are demanding equality as it relates to a police stop.
Toledo Police Department footage from the April 11th traffic stop shows a Toledo police K-9 was released onto Brandon Upchurch for not following officers' commands. This was after he and Frederick Wilson III were pulled over in Upchurch's truck because Toledo police say it had stolen plates. While it was later confirmed Upchurch's truck was not stolen, the Toledo chapter of the NAACP says the damage is already done.
I don't believe that level of force should have been already out when that young man was pulled over. And why didn't they communicate with him? Why they pulled him over until after the dog bit him?
Current chapter president Willie Perryman believes there can be a lot of issues deeply rooted into police stops involving people of color, biases involving race, status, or authority. And former President Leroy Williams agrees.
There is a undercurrent of a lack of cultural competency among our young officers that has to be addressed. Now, the elected officials that represent this city and this community, you don't get a pass either.
The leaders stood united, calling for change, which Frederick Douglass Center Executive Director Reggie Williams says needs to happen soon.
And we don't want to go into the summer having more escalation of things that will not allow us to trust our TPD.
Each of the leaders stressed the awareness of how officers can be unsettled with each interaction they face, since not all police stops are safe for officers.
But sometimes I believe just the mere fact of the uniform, just the mere fact of the weapon, just the mere fact of the appearance, they're already at an advantage. And so, therefore, it does not give them permission or the license to overreact when it comes to service calls.
Now, the NAACP president has spoken with TPD and is aware of an ongoing investigation. I also reached out to TPD per the collective bargaining agreements. At this time, they cannot provide any further information other than the incident since has been under investigation by Internal Affairs. Live in studio, Tatiana Cat.
About to come home. We was only down there. We was right there, down the street. It was a street sweeper lady. She was cleaning her street sweeper. I just happened to look in my rear view to see if somebody was behind me so I can go around them. All I seen was lights, no sirens. They instantly come out with guns, instantly. They didn't come to my car and ask for insurance, registration, no license, none of that. Instantly come out with guns. Get out your car. Why? What did I do? What are you pulling me over for? Get out the car. Throw your keys out the car. No. What did I do? I have my right. That's my right to know, right? What are you pulling me over for? So I get out. It seemed like I was walking towards them when I had my live, but I had the phone this way. Because I'm so nervous, I'm trying to switch it the other way, but I couldn't. I'm nervous. I'm keep asking them, what are you pulling me over for? What are you stopping me for? They still not telling me. What are you stopping me for? They still not telling me. The other officer, I started walking towards the sidewalk because the other officer, he was pointing that way, go that way. I was going to go down to de-escalate the whole situation, but the grass was wet, and I started walking towards the sidewalk. And as I'm walking towards the sidewalk, I'm about to go down, he said, F it, get him. You clearly see me going down. He said he thought I was going to run. There's nowhere to run down there. And why would I run if I'm recording? There's a dog on me and 3 guns. Make that make sense to me. But yeah, this is traumatizing. I never had anything that happened like this. They've been messing with me for years anyway. They know my name. So, but all they had to do is run the place again and found out that my place wasn't stolen. None of that. And none of this would have escalated to any of this.
And the thing is, you see in the video that you're clearly defiant and saying, this is my car. Right. And so what was important in that moment for you to keep your innocence and knowing that this is your vehicle?
I know this because I know my rights. They get mad when you know your rights and you pull them up on bull. They don't like that. So they put false charges on me. Resisting arrest, you cleared I didn't resist. Obstruction of business, I didn't obstruct anything. I don't want her around because I don't know what will happen. Like I said, I'm getting calls, random calls, and just breathing on the phone, just hanging up and harass me. They harass me. Keep riding up and down the street. I don't know. But I ain't scared. is going to do whatever it is and what it is. But I want justice.
It appears the officer confronts Jennifer Morris and she walks around him. Then this happens. Witnesses were shocked.
Why would you do that? She has epilepsy. Why'd you do that to her?
I told her to back up and she approached my office.
The officer handcuffs Morris.
A fight broke out inside. Friends that we were with called the police. We went outside to leave. As soon as we were leaving, the police pulled up and immediately grabbed us. They started arresting my husband. I was recording just to make sure everything went accordingly. The police officer tried to take my phone and say that I couldn't record. So I took my phone back and proceeded to walk around him to record. And out of nowhere, I didn't even see it coming. He hit me and I fell to the ground. And then he continued to straddle over me and handcuff me while I laid there motionless.
According to a police report, the officer wrote, Mrs. Morris was told several times to back up. And to prevent her from approaching the officer, he performed what TPD calls a balance displacement by pushing her right shoulder, and she fell.
When he hit me, I kind of went flying and landed on the edge of the curb. So my whole right side was very badly bruised for about 3 weeks, and I couldn't even sit down.
At one point, the officer taps her on the shoulder.
He tried to turn me over, pick me up. I really don't remember which one it was. And then tried to talk to me and ask if I was okay.
I just got on camera everything you just did.
She was charged with public intoxication and obstruction of justice. She was taken to jail. She claims the officer grabbed her hair while she was in the back of the patrol car.
So were you trying to resist getting out of the car?
No, I was hyperventilating because I have really bad anxiety and I felt claustrophobic, like I couldn't breathe. So I was like, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. And he said I was faking. And I was like, please roll the window down, please roll the window down. And then he did roll the window down for a little bit. And then he said, see, I told you were faking, you're fine.
The officer claims Morris began to try and strangle herself multiple times with the seatbelts. They ordered her to get off the seatbelts, and she did not. The officer performed a head and hair control technique by pulling her head and hair off of the belts twice. Morris met with internal affairs investigators to file a complaint.
Why wait so long to report it?
We talked to 2 different lawyers to get different opinions, a second opinion. They said that we had to wait until our case was over, completely over, before we could do anything with internal affairs.
Okay, well, it's clear to me that the Toledo Police Department is cruel and unconstitutional in the way they treat people. And as far as I'm concerned, they're so bad, they got the whole Bad Apple report today, all right? Thanks for watching, you guys. You're awesome. I'll see you tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. right here at Home on the Range.